Welcome to Socially Served. I'm your host, Frank Sroka. And as you know, Socially Served was basically produced for you, the consumer, to make informed decisions. And today we're still operating remotely. We're not in the studio. I'm at home and we're operating remotely. And today our guests are from Metroland, Torstar, and we're going to be speaking to some of the employers and the participants from our Skills Advance Ontario program. And we'll be right back after these messages, so don't go anywhere.
Would you like to donate to our employment programs? Please follow the link below to donate through PayPal. All proceeds go to our programs.
Hi, my name is Julia Ramaldi. Please come join us on the Disability Channel. Please stay tuned, we have amazing guests.
Welcome back to Socially Served. I'm your host, Frank Sroka, and today with me I have both Roger and Kris from Metroland. And Roger and Kris have been involved in our Skills Advance Ontario program that was brought to you by and funded by Employment Ontario through the Ministry of Skills and Labour. And I'm very pleased to have you both in this interview today because we've been following our training program in accessible media, and Metroland has been really a big participant in the program by actually hiring some of our graduates. And I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about your experiences with hiring our graduates, and we're going to be speaking to those graduates and one of their coaches later on today. But I just wanted to get some input from both of you to give us, our viewers, some feedback on how it's going with this program.
Sure. Thanks, Frank. Glad to be here.
Me as well. Yeah.
Either of you can provide us with some information on how you got involved and how we kind of reached out to you actually through Torstar to have one of our participants join your team and certain types of positions that are really encompassing what Metroland's all about, is a community publication. And maybe you can tell us a little bit about our participants, our graduates who are in your program, and what they're doing.
Sure. I think we originally got involved through a bit of word of mouth about your program. We were looking at launching a pilot project within one of our newsrooms. I'm the managing editor at the Peel newsroom for Metroland, so that covers Brampton Guardian, the Mississauga News, and Caledon Enterprise. And we wanted to run a pilot project around our social media engagement. And I believe someone at Torstar, maybe even one of the owners, had a previous relationship and knew about your program and had mentioned it to one of our directors. And in some conversation, it occurred that our stars sort of aligned in terms of goals. And so we wanted to hire a couple of media clerks that would work for us in helping to increase our social media engagement. And in learning a bit more about your program and what you do there, determined that it kind of was exactly what we were looking for in terms of staff and help. And so we got together with our HR, and I believe you sort of connected with us also, and we discussed what we wanted to do and what you were doing in terms of training with your students, and discovered that it really was kind of a match that we could actually use. And turns out so far it's been a really great match in terms of our two employees now. Taylor and Kris are working really great for us so far in terms of helping us on a number of levels do a bit of social media work for us, as well as looking to improve our engagement, increase our engagement on social media, on our platforms for our publications. Kris also works on a daily basis with them, but so far it's actually been a very enjoyable experience, especially just getting to know Kris and Taylor, who are so enthusiastic about what it is they're doing with us. It really is great to see, and really just their enthusiasm sort of boils over it, and the ideas that they have on a daily basis are just great, but just their daily focus on what it is they're asked to do, but also what it is when they take their initiative and also help us discover some things that we didn't know about our social media, and in terms of our engagement and what we can do to increase it.
Oh, that's fantastic. And, this is the challenge too, during this pandemic. Everything has gone online, and, the positions they are actually involved with are done remotely, and they're able to do their work remotely that way, in that respect. So that's interesting. And it's just, just engaging, I guess, your readership and the community as to what, Metroland is all about, and all your publications. Yes, it does it does lend itself really well for the social media experience, and getting connecting with that community, the broader community, and it's Mississauga, I guess, Peel region that you're servicing. So this is great, the way the organization is working with both Taylor and Kris, and in a sense, I guess they're kind of almost like job sharing the role as well. And I guess, Kris, you're also involved in terms of some of the supervision and some of the assignments that are allocated to them as well, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I work closely with Kris and Taylor on a daily basis, and sort of liaise with them throughout the day. They send me suggestions. I'll look at them and take action on them, or in some cases say, well, that's great, but maybe we could do a slight revision here or a slight revision there, and send it back to them. And then they'll send it back to me, and I'll again take action on it. So just sort of echoing what Roger said, the enthusiasm that Kris and Taylor have on a daily basis, it's great. It's energizing. It's something that I've enjoyed, quite a bit working with them. They've got great ideas. They want to learn, and they're not afraid to share their thoughts and ask for feedback and suggestions. So it's been just a really positive experience. It's helping us increase our engagement, and I'm hopeful that it's been a beneficial experience for Kris and Taylor as well.
Oh, that's really very good and positive to hear about that energy and their involvement in the assignments, and contributing to Metroland and to your viewership as well. And it's really encouraging that you're also initiating and supervising them in this realm, and they're learning so much, and it's really much appreciated, and especially during these times. But it just proves that you can work remotely. There are opportunities for individuals who are enthusiastic, who do definitely want to learn more, and that can contribute. Like, as you were saying, there's a lot of different ways you can go about engaging the community, via social media, or editing, or via video. And we're really pleased that you find that they're capable, and they're enthusiastic, and that's just terrific. We're going to be actually speaking to both Kris and Taylor and their job coach Sherri later on in this interview, because I know both your times are limited. But I just also wanted to ask you about your coaching experience, because with the program, we align a coach as a point person, and that coach is Sherri. And they're a point person for sort of the employer to connect with, and also for the participants that are involved in the program to connect with. So how has your experience been with the coaching? Or I guess your digital mentor, we call it, I should say.
Yeah. Sherri's been great so far. Certainly, whenever we need anything, we know that we can go to Sherri, and it's always nice to have a point person. So far, it's been very smooth. I know that she's an advocate for Kris and and Taylor. So that's great in terms of helping us understand the needs of Kris and Taylor, and sometimes, especially, I know that Sherri's been working with both of them for a while, so she knows them much better than we do, of course. And so I think sometimes it might be easier for people to share things with someone they've worked with for a while. Although we speak with Taylor and Kris every day, and I make sure we meet on a regular basis too. So we get to know them a bit more, and as we get to know them a bit more, they open up a little bit more, which is great. But Sherri is kind of that conduit in between the getting to know Kris and Taylor, who can help us understand what their needs are and what questions they might have that they don't feel comfortable sharing with us yet. So it's been great in that sense that Sherri's been sort of that conduit and that advocate for them, but also just helping us liaise with them and understand what their needs are and what we need to do to support them.
No, that's excellent. So it's helpful to have that point person, definitely,
Definitely.
especially if individuals are remotely. So do you see this position changing in any way as things lockdowns open up and things open up in general with the economy and businesses? Do you feel that this will still be like a remote position, or will these participants need to be in the office environment to learn more, to get more hands-on experience? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, with the experience with the pandemic, I think it's really changed everything in terms of where we go from here, whether things will be remote, whether they will be back in person, or most likely a combination of those two. There's some convenience associated with working remotely, but also I think we lack and need that sort of personal interaction in an office at some level. So going forward, we haven't made that decision yet because we're still trying to figure out what's best for all employees. So we're still deciding how the return to work will be once everything opens up. But my feeling is, an inclination is it'll probably be a combination of remote work and in-person work. But definitely, I think there's just a need for that in-person social interaction that you get, and there's something very different about the office environment in a newsroom. It's very lively, it's very interactive, very collaborative, and while you can still do a lot of that, and I think everyone's proved that you can still do things remotely over the last year, it's still, I think, just socially, it's a good, it really is a vital part of, I think, the work environment to try and get that in-person interaction in some way.
With remote learning and things that are changing on the landscape for businesses, it's always interesting how businesses adapt to the change. And you're quite right in terms of being able to converse in a newsroom where it is a hub of activity. It is a little different working remotely, and you certainly have accommodated our graduates in that realm, and that's much appreciated. So is there anything that, before we go, and I'm going to be actually interviewing both Taylor and Kris on the show, as well as their digital mentor, Sherri, is there anything any of you both wanted to say before we leave this segment of the show?
No, just that it's been a really good experience so far. I think we've learned some things, as well as probably Kris and Taylor, but they can talk to that for themselves. But certainly we have learned some things. So it's been a very good experience for us so far. And hopefully, I'm hoping that it's been a good experience for them. And as we go further, for the next month and a half or so, I'm hoping that we can expand their role and the things that they're able to do and expand their experience with us.
Oh, that's terrific. Thank you again for providing the opportunity for both Kris and Taylor. I know that they are really enjoying the work and they're really happy and pleased to participate with the program. And now we're going to actually go on a little break. And when we return, we'll be speaking to both Taylor and Kris and Sherri, their digital mentor. Thank you, Roger. Thank you, Kris, so much for joining us on Socially Served.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All about inclusion and really giving everyone a fair say.
Welcome to the Today Show. This is our flagship show. I am Unstoppable Tracy.
I am Zach Damon.
It is a pleasure to be here. I am excited. What is up?
We have a great show today.
Jay Stoyan here for the Disability Channel, the world's only inclusive channel for and by persons with disabilities.
Get ready to be inspired, everyone.
We have people watching from all over the world, but also all over Ontario.
We also take a concerted attention in the veterans community.
In moments of stress and trauma, we can get a hold of ourselves.
To help make a difference for people with disabilities, to show people how to love themselves or their disability.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me, giving this platform for myself and other people with disabilities.
Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this episode of the Disability Channel of Detroit. Please tune in next time.
Hi, welcome back to Socially Served. We're live and, of course, not broadcasting from our studio yet, just with the pandemic. But we're here and we're joining by Kris and Sherri and Taylor. We were previously speaking to Metroland, Roger and Kris, and they were talking to us about their involvement in the Skills Advanced Ontario program that we developed in conjunction with Mohawk College and the Disability Channel. And now we would like to talk to the participants who have been involved in this program and been interns at Metroland. And I just want to get their feedback in terms of how everything's been going. And also, we're going to be speaking to Sherri, who will also be touching upon her role in the program as a digital mentor, which is really important, another important piece of this program. And of course, the Skills Advanced Ontario program, digital media, accessible media program is sponsored by Employment Ontario and the Ministry of Training, Labor and Skills Development. Without their help, this would not be possible. And this program is amazing because it provides a lot of work experience, experiential work experience at the channel. There's lecture series with Mohawk College where they provide everything in terms of accessible media, accessible documents. And now we've have our graduates working at Metroland in an internship, a paid internship with them. And I wanted to get their feedback on what they've experienced so far. So either Kris or Taylor, you can tell me a little bit of what you're doing there at Metroland.
Hi, Frank. So yeah, right now I'm actually doing like social media stuff for them. We're doing like creating posts and everything and all that stuff. Kris, is there anything you want to add to, or?
No, I was just gonna say the exact same. Working in social media, creating posts, finding places for them, things to share, and things to kind of grow their audience, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
They kind of build and engage their audience, because I guess now, like initially, you would have been involved in their newsroom, you would have been involved in their hub, right? Mm-hmm. And it's kind of interesting that this position is a remote position, but it works well. I mean, they set you up with, the computers, a different login that you can access, and you're working remotely. And I guess things will definitely eventually change when things start to open, businesses start to open. But yeah, you've both been creating a lot of engagement in the community for the publication, because they serve the region of Brampton, Peel, region of Peel, I guess.
Yeah, Peel, Mississauga, Caledon, Brampton, that kind of area there.
Yeah, so that's a huge catchment area. So it's really important that they still engage their audience through the publication, through the online public. I guess it's an online publication bit, right?
The exciting part, what you like about that. So yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of doing the social media and your first day starting, how did that all go? Like, you're getting set up, you're actually connected with Kris, I guess, who is one of your supervisors. And Rod, how did that first day go?
I thought the first day went actually pretty easy. You know, it was easygoing, laid back. That's what I liked about Roger and Kris. They were very understanding and flexible. So I thought the pace was pretty good, especially when you're first starting off. You don't want to like be overwhelmed. So they were really good with that. They had like really good tasks for us to do, like for the beginning. Is there anything that you want to add, Kris?
No, it's the same, very easygoing, very laid back. Roger and Kris, they're very like, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. You know, if there's anything you're confused on, please ask questions. And yeah, it was a very smooth and easygoing experience to start off with.
Well, that's great to hear. And so a very important part of the onboarding experience, and we're gonna talk to Sherri now, who is your digital mentor, your digital coach. And Sherri comes on board to work as a point person between the employer and to work as a point person with both of you, because you may have questions at certain points and the employer may have some questions. And so rather than them trying to go, well, who do I go to answer these things? You are assigned a digital mentor, and Sherri has a lot of experience in the digital media field, and she's worked with both of you prior to onboarding with Metroland. And it's a really important aspect of the program, because I think, you know, having that person there to kind of provide you with advice or guidance or help you with onboarding, because it's all remote. So it's a whole new type of way to work, right? So having somebody to help you with that is really, really important. We're finding it be really, really successful, and employers really like it too. So Sherri, I'd like to introduce you to our viewers as the digital media coach, our digital media mentor for the Accessibility Media Program. So welcome to the show, and can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, thanks, Frank. Sure. Basically, coaching is the final piece of the collaboration that is the entire program. So, you know, going from the training to the workshops on job searching and resumes and everything leading up to the employment piece, and then the coaching puts in as a resource for both Taylor and Kris to know that I'm there checking in with them on a regular basis. Having the sessions together one-on-one is a really great way for us to bond and build our relationship even further. So we have a comfort level.
So Taylor, why don't you tell me a little bit about your experiences with the digital mentor? Have you found it valuable?
Very, yeah. What do you mean by the mentor thing? Like with
Well, Sherri is your digital mentor or coach. Have you been finding that experience working with Sherri through the program very valuable?
I really do, because with her and I, we get along so good and everything. So like I find that we have that connection with the industry that I'm into, because she was telling me from before that she worked for different like magazines and all that stuff. So like in that entertainment industry, so she knows a lot about that. So I found that we kind of click that way. So with her mentoring has really helped me a lot, because we talk about all the stuff that can work that relates to that. So I found it a really good experience.
Oh, that's great to hear. What about you, Kris?
Yeah, so I'm working with Sean.
Oh, okay.
Is my mentor, and it's been going really well. We had a meeting, like our first meeting was just like getting to know each other and kind of get the flow and cover back and forth, and it was going really well. And I meet up with him every couple of weeks and just tell him how things have been going, and it's been really, really good, really awesome.
Well, that's great. So having that person that you can kind of speak to and provide, sort of get some information from or advice in terms of how you're working in this particular position, it's always helpful, I'm sure.
Yeah, especially if there's something that you're not sure about, like, but you're kind of you you're not sure how to like talk to your boss about it, or you can kind of talk to your mentor and kind of go over it with them first, kind of, you know, make sure you kind of get on the equal playing field there.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that point up, because that is a really important part of being a mentor, providing you with that sort of advice, you know, a sounding board. Sometimes you just don't know how to approach situations, and having a second opinion, somebody who's been in the industry or that you can relate to, they had a comfort level with to confide in, that's really good. And same thing goes with the employer too. I think they've been finding it really helpful. So, I know through feedback that both Kris and Roger from Metroland are really pleased with you guys and what you're doing for them. They know you're very enthusiastic about your role. You contribute really well. And having Sherri on board as your mentor as well, I think that really helps the process. So really happy and pleased about that. So is there anything you'd like to talk to or say anything to our viewers before we go and end this interview that may be watching this program?
I want to say thank you for taking your time and watching this. I'm glad that you guys are learning better experiences now.
Yeah, same. I'm gonna reiterate that. Yeah.
I think I'll just say that, you know, job searching is not an easy thing to negotiate for anyone. And because of COVID, it was even more important to bridge that gap, to bring awareness to employers as well. You know, disabled employees are still underrepresented in the overall workforce.
Sure, that's really valuable information for our viewers, and you're right on in terms of inclusion in the workplace. It's very good information that you're providing and sharing with us. And I want to thank everyone today for joining us on Socially Served. It's really important, and we've provided some great experiences to share with our audiences, and I thank you very much for that. And so those that are interested in our next cohort, we have a new cohort starting up in August. And if you're willing to enroll into the Accessible Digital Media Program, you can contact me at Frank, F-R-A-N-K, at owlware, OWLWARE.com. And you can contact Jay at thedisabilitychannel.ca through Socially Served. And I want to thank you all again very much, and thank our employers who joined us earlier today with the interview from Metroland. So again, thanks for joining us, and thank you for watching Socially Served. We'll see you next time.